Okay, we're just gonna get right into it. The aftermath of the combat with Roxana's own father, who now lay, who now exists as nothing but dust on the wind, and a slick of blood covering your blade, completely destroyed by the sunlight. Once and for all, if there were any doubt, that doubt should now be cast away. Your father was indeed a full-on vampire, known to crumble away in sunlight. But the one part of him that still remains, other than a small cluster of his equipment that now rests on the ground, is his own blood on your sword.
Are the shades
You've
still
done it.
watching us, or are they there?
They're still there.
Okay, interesting.
How's the big pool of blood doing?
Well, I guess at this point, as he got like lower and lower in HP, I just need to find this. It would have gotten like thicker. Oh, that's way too dark. Maybe something like this. This isn't even particularly necessary for me to do. As if his own lifeblood, if you could call it that, him being undead and all, flowing into these pools of water. But after his death, the red murkiness of it all fades away, and you're left
Whoa.
again with the crystal clear blue liquid.
I didn't know that was an effect. That was cool.
Yeah, that was just something neat that I could do with like drawings. You can make it like transparent.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think first things first, like Roxana's not gonna do this with any sort of pleasure. Like she now views her father as sort of like this disgusting, vile creature. But just as she has done with like, you know, any major enemy up until this point, where she's like absorbed part of their life essence through consuming their blood, she's gonna just lick up the blood that's on her blade, that's remained of him.
The taste of Vinali's blood is foul
Yeah,
and sour.
could see that.
Enough so to cause you to wince. Closing your eyes for a moment, and upon opening them again, you are in a different place entirely, Roxana. A place not unfamiliar to you. You now stand in a small forest clearing. A reflective pool of water at its center. And the light of the moon creating just enough illumination for you to see properly. Although, unlike the other times that you've entered this place, someone's here with you. Standing not too far from the edge of the water, calmly looking in your direction, is your father. You can see painting across his face a reveal of some emotion, which any emotion is surprising to see on your father's face, but a slight frown. Make an insight check.
Alrighty.
This is a frown of not dissatisfaction at seeing you, but a frown of realization. And he speaks to you. So I am dead.
You didn't accept my offer, Father.
Nor would I, if I were to be given the chance. The sign of any good leader is to not doubt one's own decisions and to suffer the consequences. I should not be surprised that one of my own spawn were to eventually kill me. I did, after all, set an example for all of you.
Why did you turn to vile vampirism? You must have known it would turn you into a beast.
A beast, yes. But one that I could certainly control. I cared not the form I would take, so long as my goals were accomplished. And I am not disappointed, Roxana. Because I do believe that my goals, my plan, can still be brought to fruition. If not by you, then by one of my other children. The seed has already been planted. It is a matter of time.
What?
And what matters more to me is my legacy. Not necessarily that I am there to witness it.
What is it that you seek? I know you speak of domination and of spreading our lineage. But what exactly do you mean? I want a clear answer. If I am to pick up this mantle for you.
I have come to find that Zalad has been lying to all of us this time, for all time. He wishes us to stay under his thumb. I've come to the conclusion that this Stella Umbra is nothing more than a cage. I wish to usurp Zalad, to free us from this enchantment that is cast over the domain, to bring the domain into this new world, this garden that you have ventured to. Where we can be free. Free to expand. Free to take on more thralls, more slaves. To take what is ours.
A place free for you to have ruled. I can only surmise. You can't convince me you did all of this out of some holistic goal for our race. It must have been personal for you.
Do you not feel the pull, Roxana? The urge
Of the beast?
to... So you do know it.
I thought it might have been you for some time. There was perhaps a part of me that wished it so. But I know from its offerings, from its temptations, from its dark dealings, this is something you and I have both faced. You simply succumbed to it. Where
It
I
was
did.
my choice! A moment of anger flashes across his face, more severe and emotional than probably anything you've really seen from him before. And I'll let you ride off of that insight check. He definitely sees truth in your words, but is in like the state of denial. That no, this must have been his choice. He chose to take on this current form or his final form because it was his choice, not another's choice. But just as quickly as that flash of emotion came, it goes away. A sigh. He closes his eyes. Perhaps you are right. And perhaps I am wrong. And I am to pay the consequence. I can feel it, Roxana, that death is not the end for me. We have only this brief moment to communicate this last time. I had heard the call from behind my blood for some time. Years, decades even. I believe there are others, or were others, who felt it. But I feel my time is fleeting. So allow me to show you instead. He reaches out his hand for you to take it.
Yeah, she'll hesitantly take his hand.
you place your hand in his, and you go through a sequence of memories. The sensation is you've felt the sensation before. It's like the blood memories that you've had before, where you're simultaneously in your own perspective as well as his perspective, as well as some more omniscient perspective, or at least like a third person perspective viewing the situation. It's a mixture of all sorts of perspectives, and it's strange and it's overwhelming to the senses, but at the same time it's holistic and makes a lot of sense. You are viewing the memory of a young Vinali Demir. Young, in his teens, in what is now known as the Hanged Keep. He pulls on a fixture on the wall, and a secret door pops open in the Hanged Keep. Inside are not only old chests of equipment and valuables, but also a lot of documents and papers. And among all of these, the memoirs of the first Demir Asari, Androv Demir. If you recall, I think Elijah actually banished Androv Demir to
Oh yeah.
the Nether. I don't know. And flashes of text appear within this blood memory space, revealing a few key details. Some of which you probably have already known at this point as Roxana. First of all, powerful vampires used to rule as the original Asari. And these Asari, at least those that are being written about in these memoirs, secretly worked against Zalad's reign. Androv Demir was originally a trusted advisor to Dratho and Sogeri, two of these vampires. When the two Asari were injured by none other than the great warrior vampire Odrakthir in battle, they retreated to their sarcophagi in the Hanged Keep to heal, leaving Androv with stewardship over their territory. And Androv, loyal, waited a very long time for them to get better, but grew restless as his lords seemed to take longer to recover than ever before. And perhaps a pang of rebellion occurred within him and led him to pour through these vampires' documents. And with this, he uncovered their plot to destroy Ras Duhour and kill Zalad. And their method for doing so would require harvesting the souls of the Jalaran, given freely.
Oh shit.
And it's not detailed as to how exactly he did this. But I think with your knowledge at this point, or actually maybe not with your knowledge at this point. This would be Derek's knowledge at this point. So never mind. I won't say this just yet. But you as Tyler might be able to get an idea.
So this is
Androv...
Androv's scheme to overcome Zalad through using the souls?
No, this was Dratho and Sogeri's scheme.
Oh, okay.
And Androv saw this as very traitorous to
okay.
the whole, and maybe this is more so because it required harvesting the souls of the Jalaran, which he was a Jalaran and not a vampire.
Gotcha.
So he locked his masters away. And the locking mechanism for that was like that big blue energy wall
Oh yeah.
So that they couldn't enact their plan. He sealed the entrance to uh, Draitho and Sogari's lair uh, beneath the Hanged Keep, the one that you kind of currently find yourself in. You're in like a demi plane right now, but and hoping that no one would discover Draitho and Sogari's partially completed plan. And we'll get to the partially completed portion in a minute. So this was this first memory of Vinali's where he discovered these hidden documents
And Draitho and
written.
Zagari were both. They're under the Hanged Keep.
Yeah, you guys actually destroyed them fairly easily underneath the Hanged Keep.
But we never found these plans or anything that he's talking about.
You have heard a couple of times, or at least like written on the inside of their sarcophagi in the Hanged Keep, where probably the most important aspect of this ritual, which would be as it was written, the souls of one's own kin
Oh.
given freely.
Okay, so he used this to make the moot, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you're getting the right idea
Yeah.
that Vinali created the circumstances of the moot to get all of his children to give their souls away freely. So we go to another memory of Vinali's, one that is a very, very famous / infamous moment in Jalaran history of Vinali sitting at a feast with his parents and siblings, where he sits there not touching his food as his many of his siblings and both of his parents start succumbing to poisoning, just dying around the table, and then slaughtering the rest of them with his incredible martial skill. Vinali hangs the corpses of his family off the walls of the Hanged Keep, which is why it's now called the Hanged Keep. So that's its namesake. We go to another memory. Vinali, now the Demir Asari, having no competition, and with unfettered access to his whole domain, including all the grounds of the Hanged Keep, he discovers, or I should say uncovers, because he knows it exists in the catacombs somewhere, uncovers the entrance to the lair of Draitho and Sogari. And within this lair, he discovers the Beldam,
Oh.
who has already been trapped down there. So that's where we're getting at with the partially completed plan. So Draitho and Sogari must have captured their fellow vampire to use her as a conduit, because she has a soul vice, a conduit for like taking these freely given souls and then applying them to the ritual.
Oh. That makes sense.
And then he also finds a little more details on the plans of how these two vampires plan to usurp Zalad. They wish to summon, using this ritual, a great beast that would destroy Ras Duhour and the Stellar Umbra. And it seems as if these vampires were certain that Zalad's power and influence was because of the Stellar Umbra, and the two were tied together in some way that gave him this incredible power. And then also detailed that their plan was to use the Beldam as a conduit for capturing these freely given souls. And then another memory of Vinali planning out the details of the moot creating a situation in which the souls of his children would be given freely towards the ritual to destroy Ras Duhour. He does so alongside Sura, Asura's father, who has an intricate knowledge of soul-based magic and rituals. In exchange, Sura gets his freedom. I think we heard Sura's perspective at one point in like Asura's when you guys fought him earlier. How he ended up in Ras Duhour sometime after the Great Steepening and was captured, but was freed as part of this exchange. And then also, as part of this exchange, Sura requests that he be granted access to the Stellar Umbra
Oh.
before it's destroyed. Venali agrees, though, in this blood memory space where you're also existing in Venali's perspective. You can tell that Venali plans to betray Sura when the time is right. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, tracks.
And then one final memory. Venali wakes up from his sleep, sweating. He walks over to a nearby wash basin, and in this memory, he's speaking out loud to himself in a mirror. It's weird. Even in this blood memory, you can't tell exactly what he's speaking to. Something so ancient and so powerful that it's obscured even in this like very true retelling of events. But at the end of this, he's just looking at himself in the mirror and then just says, "Very well." He rinses his face again, and when his hands clear away and he looks at himself in the mirror again, no reflection remains. It was at that moment that he became a vampire. You're thrust back, not into this twilit grove that is more so the space that you enter, Roxana, but instead you enter a very dimly lit room, so dimly lit that it's kind of filled with this like super dull red light, and the only thing you can truly see is this glowing red like fount in the center with this circular step around it. So the fount itself is a little raised, and Venali kind of stands not next to it, but he looks to you, Roxana, as you're now out of the blood memories and are interacting with him again. Perhaps you are right.
What?
He steps up.
What is it? What is the beast? What does it mean?
It appears that you have already destroyed the chance at summoning it. The conduit no longer exists. The expert has been killed. In order to kill Zalad, you are going to have to find your own way. But be quick about it. I can feel the strings holding Thalas Ashana together beginning to snap. He steps up onto the edge of this fount. Farewell, daughter. And he falls into it. And you snap back into reality, gasping. To the rest of the party, this was in an instant. But to you, Roxana, it felt like much longer.
Roxana, you seem like you saw a ghost. It's over. You should find your next steps.
In some ways, I just did. We have to act quickly. We have to get out of here and get back to the dungeons beneath.
It seems that Finale was reaching for the throne. There's some magics tied to it? I think Derek would go over and try to inspect it, like do a arcane check on it to see what it does.
Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
22.
You do get the sense that there is some sort of enchantment affecting this throne that would affect any person who sits in the throne.
Judging the way Vinali was trying to reach for this at the end, it seems that this may be a way out if we need a quick one.
All right. I'll attempt it. And she'll try to use it to teleport back.
Okay. You sit in the throne, Roxana, and you immediately sense this control over this space. Control over yourself. It would be simple for you to return back to a place that's more real than this one. It's easy for you to control the others in this space. You can send them back as well, just as easily. And as you feel your will stretching across this small little pocket domain.
Wait, let me ask something first. So
yeah,
you said control over others in this space, right?
Yeah, more so. It's more so like a permission to leave and enter sort of thing. Like you can, or I guess you can force people out of it if you'd want to.
Okay. What happens if somebody is like just left here when everybody is gone? Do they like just remain in this plane?
The plane exists as part of. Actually, you. As far as you would guess, it's not likely that the place would disappear just because the people are out of it. it exists as some sort of demi-plane somewhere. I think I have an inkling of what you're trying to get at.
Yeah, I don't think I could accomplish it though, because it's essentially it's just like a door that I have control of, like whoever goes in and goes out.
Yeah, and it's whoever's sitting in the throne. So even if you leave, like somebody else could sit in the throne and control it in the same manner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind then. I was originally thinking I could try to like trap Songbird here by like.
Yeah, that's that's what I.
But yeah, I think he would probably just go on the throne immediately afterwards. So, yeah, never mind. But yeah, she'll use it to bring everybody back then.
Okay. I might note that authority over who can stay and who leaves does extend to more than just you and your party members. It also extends to the souls of your siblings that are trapped in here. So I'm gonna face you with a choice. Do you free the souls of your half siblings, or do you not?
Does she have any idea what happens if she doesn't?
I mean, kind of by the same logic as if you had left and other people are left in here, you get the idea that they would just remain here.
Like, there's no way that, like, she could use them for anything like Finale was designing to, right? Like, she has no idea how that would work, right?
Yeah, you would probably need either yourself or somebody with, again, extensive knowledge of soul magic. Which apparently Osira's father fit the bill for that, but he is now dead.
We gotta resurrect him.
Oh no.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. That is a really tricky question. I think she does, even though she is lawful evil. She does pity them. So she will release them since she has the power to.
You will everybody in this space. Everybody, right? So your party, and the souls of your half siblings.
Yeah.
Everybody is thrust out of this demi-plane and back into this dungeon, which I should mention is is not only everybody that was just in there, but also still waiting for you, your half sister Melusine.
Oh, she didn't die before?
No.
Oh,
she didn't die.
I got snatched. That's right. I got snatched before she died.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got snatched. There are a couple of things. I'm assuming that before you guys left, you'd probably loot the items off of Vinali that he did have.
Yep.
Okay, let me handle this first. There are a couple of things. One of the very important things I should mention is that you guys are going to level up to level 11,
Nice.
Huge.
Yo.
and that will be the last
Yo.
level up of this entire campaign.
Oh shit.
Oh.
So enjoy enjoy the benefits of your level. Let me find
He
Vinali
says
Demir.
threateningly.
Enjoy that. Sounds like
Alright,
we're
let me
about to
make sure
get
this is correct.
assassinated.
Yeah, dude, what is this?
Dun, dun.
Okay.
Oh, it's not the most up-to-date version. What the fuck? Where is Vinali?
Rogues are a D8, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. It's in the book.
Yes, it's in the book. I'm gonna give you specifically, Roxana, Vinali's weapon,
Let's go. I'm ready
Lev
for it.
Res.
Oh
He
shit! Is this a
also had
legendary
on
weapon?
him. Yeah.
Hell yeah! That's sick.
He also had a magic armor,
Oh, this is
which
sick.
you're just wearing normal leather armor, so I think it's probably best to give that to Roxana as well.
Yeah, I only have
She's
AC.
due for an AC upgrade.
Yeah,
You get glamored studded leather armor,
nice.
which studded leather armor is like the upgraded version of leather armor. It has a +1 bonus. It's like +1 armor, and then you can change the appearance to whatever you want it to be.
Ooh.
And then the last two things that he had on him were 2 potions of supreme healing, which he did not have the chance to use.
Ooh.
So I don't know who wants to hold on to either or both of those.
I'll take one of those for sure. Because I think
Derek can hold the other one.
Yeah, because I think I took one and administered one in our combats. That's sick. Okay, I need to increase my AC.
So wait, who's taking them? Sorry, I
Derek and
zoned out.
Roxana.
All right, so Roxana gets one. Boop. Potion of Supreme Healing, which is crazy, by the way. And then Derek can have the other one.
Nice.
Potion of Supreme Healing, very good, by the way. It's like 10d4 plus 20 hit points or something when you use it.
That's crazy. Okay. Now rocking an 89.
Alrighty. So are people leveling right now?
I'm
Yeah, at least.
starting to.
So for your health, you can either take 5, Derek, or roll your d8. And then also, don't forget to add your con modifier, everybody, to your additional HP increase.
Roll 1d8.
What is the
Womp
take
womp.
for?
Hey, you already rolled your d6, buddy. It would have been 4 for you. You win some, you lose some.
Mhm.
How do you
Okay.
edit it, though?
I think you can.
Oh, there it is.
I think you can just like directly edit it on your.
Yeah, it's like open it up into a different window.
Oh yeah, there's like a little cog wheel now.
Mhm.
Okay. I know for Thomas gets it's kind of like the warlock's mystic arcanum. I forget what it's called for you.
I'm
And
all
then
fucked up because it's the Laser Llama class, but they updated it since
yeah, do you have a
Thomas.
PDF right now that
Yeah, I have the
you were
PDF
using?
open, but it has different starting shit. It's just slightly different names, but it seems to be relatively similar.
Yeah, I mean just I think for level 11, just like look at what the class table gives you. It should give you something kind of like Mystic Arcanum, which it allows you to. It's like 6th level spells, but you can only cast the 6th level spell you choose once per long rest. You can't use psi points to cast it.
I'm
I think is
seeing
what it is.
interior gate.
That's probably what it is.
My sneak attack is 66 now. It's so nuts.
6d6. Pretty
Crazy.
cool.
I got a
Um,
6th level spell. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you get
That's
a 6th
dope.
level spell slot. Don't forget to upgrade your character level by 1 in your. I think it's in your features classes. You can change the level to 11. Should like
Yes.
fix your spell casting, Derek, to like. At what else do you get at level 11? Do you get reliable skill as a rogue, or reliable talent?
I need to check. I was looking at D&D Beyond, but I realized it was like the 5.5e version. So
Yeah. Let me look at it real quick for you.
5e rogue. Okay, yeah, here we go. Let's see.
At 11th, you do get reliable talent. Which makes it so that when you make an ability check that lets you add your proficiency bonus, so like if you're proficient or expert in something, like a skill, you can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10, and then add your modifiers to it.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
nice.
it's
That's
cracked.
like, isn't there an artificer thing that's similar to that? It's like,
Maybe. I think there's like a few subclass features that do similar things, but to like a more narrow range of skills and stuff.
yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like Jamada had something similar to that at one point.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sick though. That if you're proficient or expert in any skill, the lowest you can get is the lowest roll you can get is equal to 10 plus the modifier. So like your acrobatics is like a minimum 23.
That's crazy.
Your persuasion is minimum 22.
Yeah,
Your stealth is minimum 23.
that's crazy.
Actually, it's listed as your passive bonus would be
Where did-
exactly, which you can see in like the parentheses next to the skill.
That's nuts.
It's
Yeah.
that's actually pretty handy that the passive skill is exactly the reference number that you need.
Yeah, I forgot about the modifier. That makes it crazy good.
Yep.
My stealth
for
passive
those skills that
23.
you have expertise in.
Without even rolling. Crazy.
They also moved the Scion spell compendium. Used to be just part of the sheet. So I think I'm picking up the spell called Psionic Oppression, which is just a magnificent title.
And then I think Thomas got something cool from the battle with Sura, right? Like a cool reward. I think Asura, Thomas, and Elijah all did.
That was
So I think
the tendrils. No.
That was like the skeins of influence thing. Yeah. Okay, which means that I think there's a couple other party members that need to get cool stuff now.
They're not
They
here.
lose
They
out.
miss out.
Show
Uh,
up.
We were thinking the same thing.
Also, for the record, sorry, I just found psionic oppression. Took me a while. You psionically overwhelm the mind of one creature, see within range, intelligence throw, or it takes 12d6 psychic damage and is stunned for a minute.
That's crazy. That's so
That's
long.
fucking crazy.
Psyop oppression.
Dude, what? Like, what kind of name? It's the only 6th level spell that Laser Llama has, apparently.
We got to perform a psyop on Thalas Ashana once we get back.
Oh, dangerous game.
Okay. Alright, Derek, you're gonna get this pretty fucking crazy thing.
But I got the spear already. The spear that
That's just a-
returns to my hand.
This isn't a spear, this is your own ability.
Mm.
Let me just quickly okay. Sorry, I forgot to prepare this properly. Let me just give it a widow icon. Just something really cool. We'll do that. I don't know if that's thematic or anything, but... Okay, I'm about to drag it onto your sheet, Derek. This feat is called Fragment of Potential.
Yes. Ooh. Oh, very cool. I remember this.
So it's kind of like a baby version of
Yeah.
what you did last session.
Mm-hmm.
It will obviously still work as like part of your turn, so like the casting time for the spell still takes effect, but once per long rest, which I think you're only gonna get one long rest. So
Right.
like once before the end of the campaign, you'll be able to cast any spell from your spell list of 6th level or
Mhm.
lower, regardless of whether it's prepared or not, without using any components. And then Roxana, you're gonna get something a little fun here called Thin Blade Mastery.
Ooh.
Which essentially in each combat you get to choose one of these 3 like thin blade stances, which each has its own benefits, and they can be pretty strong. So yeah, just
That's crazy.
take a minute to read through those. The one that sounds the most fun to me even though it might not be like the strongest, the first one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The first one sounds super fun.
Yeah, that's sick. Although the needlepoint's crazy.
Yeah, needlepoint is crazy. That's like very simple and very powerful.
Although bloodletting stance is also pretty crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Have you had a chance to read the description of Venali's weapon?
Yeah, yeah. Also crazy.
Yeah, so that's so Venali's weapon. Honestly, I wish I had this idea for making cool magic weapons before, but essentially like this momentum mechanic of like building up charges in combat and then using them.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And by the way, anytime you use any of like its special abilities, each of those counts as one attack. So you do get refunded one momentum whenever you use it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a fun combo with those abilities for sure.
Okay. Okay. Alright, so I guess as you're taking some more time to like look at things and deciding things, I think we're gonna continue with the narrative a little bit. You find yourself back in this dungeon, for the lack of a better word. Returned with your party, no sign of your siblings' souls. You have freed them. Many of them you killed in the first place. But perhaps this small act, or maybe large act of mercy, was more than enough for them to be at rest. But you end up back in this place, slightly displaced from where you from where you left the dungeon originally. And in addition to everybody you had with you before, you also find Melusine, who kind of starts and jumps back when you guys just kind of plop back into existence. But she calms down as much as she can in this more nervous, somewhat manic state that she's been in. I've been waiting for you. The way is clear.
Out of curiosity, how long has it been since we left?
For the better part of an hour.
Okay.
Which coincides with how long
Yeah,
you've...
okay. Just making sure that nothing funky went on.
6 days have passed.
It's been 14 years.
The
It is
domain
now
is already
2025.
destroyed.
The way to where is cleared.
The way out of here. Thank you. I know it wasn't easy, but thank you for saving me.
I suppose you think you're coming with us.
I would like to, if you would have me.
What do you stand to provide to us? From what I've seen, you've sent assassins after me, captured one of our crew, and did what could amount to just short of torture, turning him into a ghoul. And by this point, she has a blade inching towards her throat.
She kind of pushes herself back against the wall. I'm unsure of what I could provide, but I will make myself useful. If you have a camp, I will find a way to make myself useful. Assassins, yes, but also messengers. I was trying to send you a message, Roxana. If only there were a way that I could show you that I'm telling the truth. And you get a sense, Roxana, that there is a way. You can tell if her words are nothing but fabrications. In that moment when you had drinking Finale's blood, you felt a stronger attunement to this blood memory ability than ever before. And if anybody's blood memories would be easier to read, it would be someone who you're related to.
Okay. Yeah, she'll try to read into the blood a little bit. I don't know.
So in order to do so, you would need to drink of Melusine's blood.
Oh. I think I think she may do that down the road. But I think for now what she's going to do is she's just going to keep the blade like just by her jugular, just sort of like angled there. And she's like, I don't doubt you. That's the strange thing about this. I could be sure of it. But that time will come later. I will outline the circumstances of our new agreement. You are still wearing that ring you got at the moot. I can tell you with all assurance exactly where you will end up if you should perish. And it's not any kind of afterlife. It's eternity in a thankless grey hall that we have just visited. So if you serve me well, we have someone who will remove that for you. That should be all the motivation you need. Because otherwise, you are simply going to end up a spirit divorced from your very body.
She swallows in this moment and takes a deep breath, straightens herself, and gives you a, as disheveled as she looks, gives you a low, proper, drilled into her over decades, proper bow. You have made a most loyal servant of me today.
That is more like it. Father has perished. Therefore, I am now assuming the title of Asari for our house. So, you shall refer to me as such. So I appreciate your reverence. You may stand and join us. But if I catch a hint of treachery from you, I will act just as Father would have and cut you down.
Yes, your ladyship.
And she just turns to everyone else and she's like, very well, let's return to the surface.
Okay. The party musters its strength. I guess it's important to note that Thomas's and Asura's entourage have not been forgotten.
What about the Lake Hall Legionnaires?
I'm talking about people in this dungeon. Here, I'll
I know,
drag
I
them
know.
onto the map right now. Wee-hoo!
Oh, yeah.
The newly reborn forms of Glide, Olimar, Ithtuk, as well as Asura's mother Taru.
The crew.
Oh, I forgot his mom was like brought back. That's crazy.
His mom was like his patron, kind of. Which is sick. We got the whole crew here, although they're currently in kind of like their growing stage in an entirely new body, exhausted. But maybe they'll be able to help soon. We'll see. Okay. You gather up and you exit these ancient ruins, which empty out into more of this underground river that you had used to travel through here in the first place, or travel to here in the first place. Although you find after leaving the ancient ruins, it becomes a bit more easier. There's this sort of river bank, or kind of like a constructed bank that you'd see with like a canal running alongside it, so you don't actually need a boat to travel. And you travel for some time. I mean, the Hanged Keep isn't like a huge, isn't on like, it's on like a very, very large hill, but not like a mountain or anything. And this underground portion of the Tharsk River eventually leads back out into Demir territory. And stepping out into Demir territory, Roxana. You can see it in the distance on these like tree-dotted plains that are near Eskviv and the Hanged Keep. In the distance, you can see a sea of light, torchlight. And you can see other less distant torches held into the air and kind of bobbing into the distance towards that larger mass of light. It appears that the forces of yours and your allies that you've accumulated over this time have truly begun their march
Let's go.
towards Ras Duhour. So I'm guessing that's where you're going, right?
Hell yeah.
We march.
Think so.
Okay. You and your entourage become yet more members of this flight towards the capital city. And you have been down there for like at least the long rests portion of time, because you did take that like uncomfortable long rest at one point or another. Most of the people that you catch up to and pass by are not those who you truly recognize. A lot of them actually seem to be just people from around who appear to have taken up arms and are aiding in this effort. But after hours and hours of traveling, you reach it. In the trees, in the woods, this massive war camp. In the distance, you can see the tall spires of Ras Duhour, silhouetted by the many firelights in this camp.
Ooh. That's cool.
Pretty sweet.
You begin pushing into the camp, and probably you know where you need to go. You need to find the command tent, because surely one has been set up, as you had entrusted Adroxa with continuing her march.
True. Yeah, she'll go to the command tent.
Perhaps getting directions a few times, probably getting recognition at a couple of points, and getting some degree of reverence from folk who you pass by. You see people wearing Drovir colors intermingling with others. You see members of the Demir reserves, as each Asari family is allowed to hold like their own small army, not like a full-sized army. A majority of Demir's soldiers will actually be, in theory, fighting against you as they become soldiers of Ras Duhour by a pact forged long ago. But you eventually see it. This huge, sprawling tent set up in the midst of the sea of others. A guard at the entrance instantly recognizes you and peels back the entrance flap to this tent. And inside, you see a lot of familiar figures. You see, standing at this big war table with a map of Ras Duhour, you see a Droxa in her Jalaran humanoid form, alongside or flanked by a couple of her like elite Drovirs soldiers. You see, I gave him a name now, Arger, who was essentially the second in command of the Rock Guard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who is there with a couple of his own soldiers as well. You see, not only that, but you see a few of your half-siblings. One of which is Ardaber. Two of them are half-siblings that you fought alongside in the chapel in the Hanged Keep, Amalafra and Odothe, who seem to have, in aiding you in your war efforts, mobilized the Dimir reserves and brought them here for you.
Oh, cool.
As well as a few Ceruleans. Stuart Vilkeson, the leader. It's funny that Ryan brought that up earlier. Stuart Vilkeson, the leader of the Lake Hall Legionnaires. As well as two Ceruleans that you brought along with you here, which were Mira and Mira, the once vampire, and Vorel, the once Asher.
Oh yeah, I forgot we had Vorl.
And two Ceruleans who you didn't bring with you to the domain. At least not you didn't originally intend to bring with you to the domain, in Tiamat and her dwarven companion Saravo.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They're here with you. They don't have a large retinue of blue flame with them, as those were the blue flame was destroyed / disbanded with the death of Sagari Demir in the chapel. And yeah, I think that's the at least the key figures who are here in this tent right now. And everyone turns as Roxana and the rest of the party enter.
It is good to see you all. We have returned from a successful incursion into my father's domain. For those of you
Yes.
who were not aware, my father faked his death in order to gain power from the souls committed to his false moot. But I bear his very sword in hand and have now assumed his title of Asari. And she'll just plant it in the wood of the table for all to see.
Yeah. This is more of like I'd say at this point it's more of a public showing. I would say that you definitely had this conversation with your half siblings in the chapel after the fight with Sagari. They said that they would follow you. I think this is a nice display of authority.
And oh yeah, go ahead.
You do get a gesture, not as courtly as Melusine's bow, but kind of like a hand across the chest, more rigid bow for this situation where it's more of like a war planning going on from your half siblings Amalafra and Odothe. And make an insight check for me.
Insight. Just for the fun of it, I'm gonna use my inspiration on this.
Okay.
Oh, not good at all. That's crazy.
What? That's crazy, dude. Only an 8. Your half siblings give you this salute, and you do notice that the third half sibling that's in here, Artiber, his mind seems to be wandering. So he kind of half-asses it a little bit. And Adroxa speaks up. We have been discussing the deployment of soldiers when we begin our assault.
Yes.
The moats surrounding the city proved to be quite a defensible position for them. However, there are a few bridges that connect the mainland to the city. And Arger, the second in command of the Rock Guard, speaks up. The bridge that can support the most soldiers widthwise moving across it is located here, and he points to a location. However, there exists a tall gateway and a wall with parapets and archer slits. It will be the most dangerous point to move across. The others are less defended, but are more funneled, you could say, more narrow. There's also the option of taking small boats and rowing them across the moat itself. Obviously, we have the support of the Drovir Asari to provide support from the air.
How large are these
We
moats?
were discussing whether to... Oh, okay, yeah. How large are the moats?
Yeah.
Moats are at their narrowest 80 to 100 feet across.
Well,
Getting closer to 200 in some places.
an idea that immediately comes to mind is we could attempt to build bridges and cross on our own terms, but please continue with what you were saying.
We were discussing, considering that our forces are formed by disparate parties unfamiliar with aiding one another in combat, whether it would be wise to put all of our efforts into one front, or to separate, spread our forces, have the most capable force for a siege, attacking the large bridge directly, and others providing, at the very least, a distraction or a flank from other positions, whether it be the bridge or by going across the moat at various points. Although small and we would need support, I have volunteered the Rot Guard for such a position. That is what we were trained for. Our weapons infused with runic magic, quite capable of tearing down metal gates and stone walls alike. We are heavily armored, and we pack quite a punch. Our largest forces are those of Her Ladyship Adroxa, and then larger than the Rot Guard, but not massive, are the trained Demir forces, as well as it appears we have civilian volunteers willing to aid, at least to the forces in numbers. I don't see that we could get them properly trained in time. And it appears that you also brought some more exotic allies from your travels to the Cerulean Garden.
Yes, I believe
I am-
the diversity of our units is going to be to our advantage.
So let's go slightly more zoomed out in this moment. What do you think? And this obviously can involve everybody. I don't want it to only be like a me and Tyler having a discussion. What do you guys think would be the best approach? Do you want to put all of your eggs in one basket to have a much larger force? Kind of pushing on one front? Just kind of how the politics and the war bands and whatnot in Thals Ashana works. There's not going to be like huge forces in general. Like your army isn't massive or anything. But one thing that you might have going for you is that Ras Duhour itself probably didn't have time to prepare for this.
Okay. I think my initial thoughts are going to hinge on one thing, which is, do we have any idea of the size of their forces and how it compares to ours?
So the way it works is more so of a 2-to-1 ratio. For every one soldier that you have in your own reserves, as they're called, 2 soldiers from your territories are to be sent to Ras Duhour to act as the essentially Thalas Ashana's own army, overarching army. So there's going to be not only twice as many Dimir soldiers on Ras Duhour's side as there are on your side. Although, who knows? Maybe there's a way to like sway them in the middle of battle if they see that they're fighting their own people. Like where will their loyalties lie?
That's crazy.
Uh,
That
There's also
a siege against double to triple is nuts. But
yeah,
we're gonna have to get
it's nuts.
creative about this, I think.
And there's also, but I will keep this in mind. Most like a direct effect of this agreement is that most like Asari don't raise large armies specifically for this reason. They don't want to be feeding like their own people and soldiers into the forces of Ras Duhour. So there's the Demirs, there's soldiers from a bunch of other Asari, although there are no soldiers from the Drovir, as technically the Drovir aren't allowed to raise an army. And the Drovir side is probably like much larger than any individual Asari's forces in Ras Duhour. The another benefit, you guys have been planning this assault. The Ras Duhour has been like veiled and not really able. It's been disconnected. So in like an actual siege where like the main tactic is essentially to keep them inside their walls and starve them out, right, until they surrender. Typically tends to be how a siege goes. A lot of that work might have already been done, as Ras Duhour itself has been completely disconnected from the rest of Thalas Ashana, and might have kind of been cannibalizing itself for the past while.
So it could be
You also
less
have,
than we think.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a good chance that their morale is a lot lower than your morale. And another I guess I mentioned that like that one bridge is like well defended, right?
Yeah.
Other than like the moat itself, there aren't a lot of like tall walls and areas for Ras Duhour to be properly manned. Again, because of this, you know what, you're just sending your soldiers to us. Like there's not that much of a threat of them being attacked. So if they have that one like well defended position, the other positions are probably not very easy to defend or are not designed to be defended easily. What you're going to find yourself in are a lot of narrow, like pretty narrow city streets. It's probably going to be chaotic. And I think your lack of numbers compared to them, if you do find your way into the city, is not going to be nearly as felt. As it's going to be a lot of like close quarters shit, and you have I might add that you have a first of all like a few like pretty like elite squadrons of soldiers. A lot of like the Drovir soldiers are actually just incredibly talented assassins. You have like the Rock Guard with you. You have a literal fucking dragon on your side. And another like political aspect is a way for like the Asari to manipulate this deal, where like this 2-to-1 deal, is that they'd send like their less trained soldiers to Ras Duhour as well. So experience is probably more on your guys' side. Individual powerful allies. I mean, you guys are 11th level characters. You guys can probably influence the tide of various like battlefronts like pretty easily. In fact, this whole next or I guess I shouldn't say next arc, this whole like last arc, like getting through Ras Duhour, a lot of it's gonna be influenced by you and being in this war zone.
Yeah. I mean,
So what's the purpose of us in Ras Duhour again? Are we
that's how we defeat Zalad, who basically has
okay?
control. Like, he's basically keeping this plane as like a cage. So in
Yes.
order for us to even leave, we have to defeat him.
Yep, that is like the main thing that should be motivating, especially like the Ceruleans. You cannot get home until you like essentially lift this, as Tyler put it properly, like this cage from Thalas Ashana. You, Derek, just learned that. So this cage, the Stellar Umbra, is actually some form of like divinity, right? This sentient energy, and it wants to be freed as well, but it's like under control essentially. So that's what the blue flame is. So yeah, and another thing, there is like that time limit. I know that Vinali kind of like alluded to it, that the strings holding the domain together are starting to fall apart. There was a whole thing when you guys went to the observatory and saw that the borders of the domain are shrinking, fading into nothingness. The power of the Stellar Umbra is fading. It cannot hold this domain, Thalas Ashana, as a demiplane for much longer. It's running out of juice.
You don't want the juice to get loose.
Well, if we're all like, is it like a proximity thing to Ras Duhour? Like, would they also feel the pressure of this plane collapsing? Or are they like
Duhour is
spared?
like right. They're like right in the center of this domain. Most people, like nobody's been panicking about this for the most part. Most people aren't even aware of it, that it's happening.
Interesting. Yeah, because like historically, there's been very few situations where a smaller force has actually taken a bigger one in a siege and won. But
So it sounds like we need to do like an infiltration type deal.
Also
Well,
take
right?
in mind, Tyler, I'm not as versed in history and warfare as you. So...
No, this is fun though, because like it has been done, and there's been only like there's been a few cases where it has been done successfully, and they've all either been diversionary, so either like we fake that we're coming from a different angle and we go in another,
Should we
or
play an Operation Mincemeat?
it's funny that I said psyop earlier because literally we could psyop them a little bit. The other way is like basically our goal is to get in as fast as possible and have them be as it be as chaotic as possible on the inside. So my thought,
Can't we split up in a way that we could effectively attack from different sides to make their army have to
I don't think
split some capacity?
I don't think splitting up would be wise because we have so few troops compared to them. Like we have a third or a half
What's
of
the
what they
status
have.
of the moat in the bridge again? Right, the moat is.
So there's like a lot of smaller bridges that
Yeah.
span across the moat. There's a much larger bridge.
Yeah, and that would allow for the most amount of men through
Yeah.
at the same time. And what is on the other side of that? Is it a gate? Is it like an iron gate? Is it like wooden doors?
It's kind of like a how do I put this? It's one of those gates that you can lift and like let fall.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay.
Here's what I'm thinking. Here's my initial concept of a plan, right? My concept. So say, okay, we put in
interesting thing.
Yeah.
Let me give you at least some tools at your disposal that can help overcome like the walls and everything. So the Rock Guard are like very magically enhanced elites. Their defenses are crazy high. Like they're like almost on their own, like individual little armies. And they're very good at they would be good at just fucking destroying the gate once you actually like get across the bridge.
Okay.
They probably don't even need a battering ram. They just need their fucking mauls and a few, or like their warhammers and a minute or two.
All right. So
there's also the Drovir. Other than a Droxa who's like a dragon and can fly around.
Yeah.
The Drovir, like you've noticed that a lot of the assassins have levitation at their disposal.
I can limit that.
So initially what I'm thinking is the bridge is where they're going to expect us to come. So what we do is while we're making preparations, we send in the Drovir and like small cells of people to plant misinformation in the city and to potentially assassinate military leaders. So we already are sowing some confusion. We start to plant some seeds that we're going to come through the bridge. We have a dragon, we're going to attempt to like firebomb the city essentially from the air. Meanwhile, we have sappers start to dig from the wall on the other opposite side of the city to try to dig underneath the foundation of the wall so that when the time comes, we can like burn combustibles and just like destroy that back wall with the help of the Rock Guard. And in order to just prevent the issue of the bridge at all, we just build a causeway that's like 80 to 100 feet long, and we just all cross it as quickly as possible and just flood into the city. They're going to have all their soldiers on the side of their bridge, and they're going to be facing off against a Droxa as like a fake like decoy, and then we just rush in through the back. Is my
There's a lot going on there.
Well, essentially, we need just a deceptive front, which is a Droxa coming in. We'll feed them information that we're also logically they would figure we'd go through their bridge, because essentially we need to catch them by surprise, and we also need to get into the wall as quickly as possible. We can't afford like a lengthy siege like if we had a bigger force.
Yeah, I guess you do have the benefit that Ras Duhour is heavily surrounded by like forest and trees, so like
that's great.
Around it, you could do it without too much notice if you're taking care.
Yeah, and we could even light some fake fires up on the ridge to make them think our forces are up there, and have our people on the inside just feed them misinformation that we're going to come through that bridge, and then
that's cool. Yeah.
80 to 100 feet is not crazy long. Like we could.
It's not crazy long.
We could deploy a bridge.
How many people do we have?
Yeah,
that's a great question.
Tyler, I was also going through my spell list. I have control water.
Oh, that could be dope.
So you could like build a causeway in one direction, and then Derek just splits the moat, and like you go in from a different direction.
It'd certainly throw them off.
Yeah, it also would make it way easier to deploy the causeway too if there's no water. Just
Yeah, and then it floats up or something.
Yeah.
I only can hold it for 10 minutes though, so it needs to like we're not gonna be able to build the causeway. It'll
No,
more be
we
like
yeah, we'd build it in advance probably, and then just deploy it when the time comes.
Yeah, we'll say with some like initial scouting. Again, like warfare in Ras Duhour is not like very large scale warfare. It's probably something more along the lines of on their side, they have about we'll say about 6,000. And then for you guys, there's like the 2-to-1 thing, but again with like having like this entire Drovir army mustered up, it does mitigate that somewhat. You guys probably have about 4,000.
mhm.
Oh, okay. All right, that's not as bad.
So it's not half. All right, it's a little better.
All right, that's
It's
yeah.
instead of 2-to-1, it's 3-to-2.
Okay, yeah. That's much more doable. Um Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool too because we could send people in on missions ahead of time to like plant disinformation and assassinate people, and like all the while we could just be like, building.
Just so chaos.
We could be in the meantime we could be training, building the causeway, making like fake elements of an army that we could stage like we're coming from the side
Blow
of the
up
bridge.
tanks on the shores.
I'm picturing I've been reading the Stormlight Archive books
Oh, nice.
by Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah, I heard those are good.
Their whole like warfare thing is across like these crazy like the series of plateaus with just these huge like ravines in between them. And one of like these like generals, I guess I'll call him, like tactics is to have a bunch of slaves like running these lightweight bridges up to like the edge of the chasm and just like throwing them down while like the enemies are firing arrows at them. So then they just like put all these like bridges down for the armies to go across.
Yeah, that was historical for sure. Honestly,
So that's like the idea is like build the causeway, then have a fuck ton of soldiers just like push it across.
yeah, I mean, this is just my idea, so feel free to like add stuff or pick stuff apart, guys. But like, I'm thinking we train all these conscripts. I mean, this is kind of sad, but I think it's the reality. We should train the conscripts to do the sapping. So they're going to be like digging beneath the earth. They're going to have the highest probably fatality rate because they're just going to be tunnel collapse. They're going to have to get underneath the wall and stuff and like light, combustibles underneath, so they might die in the process. But like, send all these new recruits as sappers, train them what to do, just get a wall down. As soon as the wall is down, we're good. Because if we're in the city and if we're in tight alleyways, like the numbers are not going to matter as much. It's going to be the quality of troops.
Very true.
And we're going to have
And
yeah.
if you're going to bring a wall down, or would you want it? Yeah, you'd want it to be like the wall that you're approaching with the causeway, right?
Yeah. Causeway deployed as quickly as possible. Troops funneled across as quickly as possible and just get into the city. And then Adroxa can kind of provide just like aerial chaos, like strafing on like different parts. But I don't think... Initially, I was thinking she might be cool to use to get down the wall, but I don't actually think fire would be that effective against stone, to be honest. So I think as like a shock and awe type unit, she'd probably work best.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess also, what do you think potential of the civilians like rising up on our behalf?
That's where the psyop could come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just meant like how susceptible are they now? We have an idea.
I don't think we have an idea currently, but we could find out. through spying.
Certainly.
How would we start to get people inside without them noticing? I feel like they'd cancel, like they'd block all the routes and they'll let no one in or out. You know?
Well, they don't
Well,
even know we're coming.
leave that
really.
leave that to the Drovier like elites.
Yeah, they're masters at
Mhm.
it. But also they don't know we're coming. So like we could send in advanced Drovier and like maybe even some party members just to like spy, plant misinformation, communicate with us. Don't we have a sending stone too, I feel like?
Yeah, I think Artaber gave you one.
Yeah, we could basically just make like a like a terrorist cell inside this city, have someone communicate with us and just like, you know, start to make a little network.
That makes sense to me.
Okay, so just to confirm, this is important for DM to be on your on your side. The current plan is to send in people who are good at infiltration, so probably a lot of like the Drovier who were trained as assassins, to get in, sow misinformation and chaos to hopefully lower morale, and most importantly, direct their attention towards that main bridge into
Yeah.
the city,
Yeah.
making it seem like you're putting all of your eggs into that basket. It's going to send all of your forces. There's going to be the vengeful Adroxa, a dragon that's going to come and torch everyone.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Oh, and also to
um,
assess the likelihood of a popular revolt. That's going to be another part of that too.
all right. Assess likelihood of revolt.
And assassinate military leaders. That'd be so fun. Have like a couple party members go in, like try to like assassinate some guy with their defenses.
I feel like we should play out some of this. You know, like this is a lot of content that we could be doing.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think we will. Like,
I mean, yeah, you guys might be able to join in on some of like the fun like covert stuff if you want.
yeah, that'd be sick.
Okay. I will. Oh, this actually just made me realize something. You're not gonna like to hear it.
Oh no.
Maybe Tyler will like to hear it, but Roxana won't like to hear it. There is somebody who you know to have a very long-standing familiarity with creating information networks.
Oh no. Songbird.
I was gonna say, does he happen to be inside me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like Elijah could as well. Maybe not to the same
yeah.
extent.
I would. Yeah. Actually, he's
I
who I
mean,
thought
well,
of.
Elijah doesn't have like his whole. So Songbird controls Atralosk on the border.
Yeah. No, he would be like elite. But I'm just worried he's gonna betray us. Like I could see it happening.
He has stated his what he wants. He wants to be free, not only of this domain, but of his curse as well.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And he would be like elite to have in that position. Yeah, I think Roxana would begrudgingly enlist him, knowing that he is like such an elite, like he is like the espionage like guy.
Okay.
Even though she does not like that at all.
I'll regurgitate him. Yeah, it sounds kind of like that.
Well, you could just be like a.
Well, maybe during like all these conversations, Adroxa would say,
The Drovia have experience with assassinations, so they could help on that front. But sowing discord, that is less of their area of expertise.
And you hear, well, I believe I could help on that front.
Thomas just
Hello,
pipes up.
my dear Roxana.
Hello,
Get out of
Songbird.
me.
Have you taken... by the way, like, his appearance probably startles everyone there. Puts like everyone on edge because most people probably don't even know about Songbird, or at least in this
Sorry
regard.
about that.
It was me burping.
And I would say that it's like in this weird merging and separation of flesh. Like, he does separate himself from you, Thomas, and just appears in his form with his mask,
Fine.
not his like true form. You know, I have much experience creating a network of intelligence, and I believe that I have at least a few agents inside already, before it had disappeared off the map. I can likely get more inside.
Yes, unfortunately, I think, Songbird, I'm going to have to put aside our petty disagreements for this. In fact, one could argue you successfully deployed intelligence against me when you revealed the fact that I slaughtered Jan's village in front of the group. That was very successful intelligence. So, if you can create cells that can remain in contact with us, sowing discord as we see fit inside the city, I will see to it that your escape, your flight from this plane is successful.
And the other addendum that I had asked for. Would you, and not only addressing Roxana, but specifically the rest of the party, because he's seen miracles be performed by the rest of you. Would you see to it that I be freed from my condition?
And that's just staying inside of Thomas?
His condition is his vampirism. He's a vampire. And not only does he want to be able to leave Thalos Ashana, but he also wants to not be a vampire anymore.
Oh,
I think that's fine.
yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
I mean, we just didn't like him because he was hitching a ride on Thomas and trying to manipulate us, but he sounds useful.
hit
now.
a ride on you.
I mean, he mainly wanted that because he wanted to be like with the party, in a sense, because he saw you guys. That was his like original, like his side of the deal, was for you to just get him out of the domain.
Yeah.
But now he wants that addendum of being cured of his vampirism.
This is the group to do it.
Yeah. Honestly, it's probably not that bad of an addendum for the party. It's like, oh, one less vampire? Like, this guy doesn't want to be a freaker? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you sound like you're on our side.
Yeah. That,
Very well. The deal has been made. I thank you. And I will see to it that those in the city have no idea what's coming from without and within. And you see him cast a spell, and he disappears.
Oh shit.
Can I sense him inside me still?
No,
Good, good.
he's no longer hitching a ride.
Hitch a
Space
ride?
folds around him as he teleports away.
Thomas Machine is out of.
I will try
Oh.
to. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I forgot to mention there is also one aspect of the. I mean, obviously it's not like not as beneficial as like a huge number of soldiers would give, but with the Rock Guard, they also have their Hellfire engine, which is like
What?
a massive like
Let's
vehicle
go.
siege engine
Let's
that's
go.
like gonna be like at the very least incredibly durable in the best circumstances, which being in like crowded city streets might be the best circumstances. It will just mow through
Yeah,
crowds of people.
that's great. Yeah, because that could be our backup in case the sappers fail. Is like we could use that to try to get through the wall, and their hammers too could help us.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to speak to Adraxa as well at some point.
Did you want to do that like a little more privately?
Yeah, I'd want to take her aside and talk to her. The party could be there, but like essentially
Okay.
like no other NPCs but her.
Okay. You're able to get her to the side.
It is almost upon us then. I can finally see my vengeance coming true.
I as well. There are many that are going to face judgment soon, Adraxa. And I thank you for your service. But before we make this leap together, this plunge, I have a few thorns that are stuck in my side that need dealing with.
She raises an eyebrow.
There is a certain religious zealot that needn't see a day of this siege we are about to enact. I think you, Melusine, and a dozen of your best warriors should do the trick. But she must perish within the fortnight. And you must, if it is possible, remove those stones in her arms after it is done.
I know what it is. That is embedded in her.
It is for us to use, for our people and our bloodlines. Not for someone who manipulated us with forked tongue.
I will remind you, Roxana. Now that my memories have been restored to me, remember much more than my radiance being separated from me. Perhaps you didn't know, but it is one of those stones that Zalad used to separate my power from me in the first place.
Really?
Yes.
Good.
I would see them cast away, not used.
Well, if you do this for me, you may do with those stones as you wish.
Is that a contract?
It's a favor, nothing more. A way for you to see that no more of these things are circulating.
I will consider this. Allow me some rest to come up with my decision.
Would a day suffice?
I am not that indecisive. Yes,
Good.
that should be plenty of time.
Good. Thank you. You may retire for now. I will speak to my friends in private.
Okay. You and Adroxa part ways, and you find your way back to your allies.
First, I'll go up to Derek. What is Derek doing as we prepare for this siege? How do I find him?
I think he's around the camp picking herbs. He's like on a late night walk. Still crafting medicines.
Still playing the part of the healer, I see.
What can I say? It's in my family's blood. Even if I have these healing magics now, leaves can still suffice in some cases. And he picks up, he starts plucking some more herbs from like a walking path that you found him on.
How much is Glaston still on your mind? Do you think of it fondly? Do you miss it?
I do. And I'd be glad to get back, but there's still something that I have not found. Something that would elevate my family above its station. Until then, Glaston remains a memory.
Is that ultimately what you wish, is for your family to achieve the highest station possible?
I think you conflate your goals of ambition and power with success. In my eyes, this is
What is the
my
difference?
family's success is more meager. To help
Existence
people.
suffices for them.
Recognition, not power.
Does your concern for well-being extend beyond your family into other parts of the plane? Say, do you wish well for other countries that border Glaston and the Triumvirate? Or do you place more preference upon yours and its success?
My kindness extends borders, but not in the way that I would help others to subvert where I live more. That if someone comes to me in need, or the Wolfwords in need, we will help them. A simple rule.
There are things that are going to change once we've taken this city. This plain and the cerulean garden will converge. And should there be a new order that results from the chaos, I simply wish to know where you would like your place in it to be. So thank you.
Derek nods, and I don't think he's looking at Roxana this entire time. He's been talking. Like, he's been, like, focused on picking leaves. He obviously recognizes he was pulled into something that he has no place deciding the outcome. And so he's just all along for the ride. As long as his family remains intact, he doesn't care what happens, which I think goes against most people's interpretation of Derek as like being a lawful good cleric that helps everyone and wants to help everyone. I mean, that is the family rule, but he doesn't care what happens outside of that. He's like neutral in that sense.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, she's just gonna say, injuries that have been dealt to us by others shall not be forgotten. And soon a new day will dawn, one where we seize the power that has been rightfully ours since the beginning. You and your family will be rewarded for helping me. I can assure you.
I'm glad our time adventuring together has made you think of my family and I so fondly.
I always try to pay back my friends when I can.
Yeah, I think you hear Derek snicker, and you said, "Friends, huh?" I almost can sense a smile on your face, and he hasn't turned around yet. He's still like sauntering along the path, picking herbs.
Yes, it's such an unfamiliar word to me. But I don't really have any other to describe what we have. I rely on you, just as I rely on these others. Anyways, enjoy your herbalism. And she just walks away.
Okay. As you break away from your ally, Derek.
Friend, actually, thank you.
Friend. Derek, sorry.
My ghoul.
head back into camp with whatever whatever you have in mind next. Maybe you needs or are about to get some very much needed rest. Maybe you think that your rest can wait. But as you're pushing through like these groups of people in these tightly or densely packed tents, you hear a familiar voice from behind you. Lady Demir. None other than your ghoul Katya has arrived.
Oh,
and
nice.
Found you.
He's back.
It's been a minute, yeah. I'll turn around, and like there is an instinct in her mind to give her a hug, but like she doesn't because it's not formal enough. So she's like, Katya, I'm glad you've returned.
There is a matter that I think can wait no longer. You see, one of your siblings has left with me a letter addressed to you.
Which one?
Artiber.
She'll open the note.
It's gonna be a very long note, but I'll read it in Artiber's voice for you. Artiber, who you had seen seemed to have his mind elsewhere during the war meeting. Or if you want to read it to us, I'm gonna send it to you on Discord.
Sure. Let me pull it up.
What? Oh, thanks, Discord, for having too long of a message. Maybe I can do it like this. 1 second. Journal. I'm gonna create a new journal entry. Just call it Letter from Artiber. Alright, we do that. And then we configure ownership. And then I'll make everybody an observer so they can read it. Although, Tyler, can you read it for us? You should find it in the journal entries. Letter from Artiber.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Let me pull this up. Okay. Roxana, in experiencing and studying cultures other than our own, have you ever pondered why us Jalaran, above all others, appear to have such a proclivity towards hedonistic cruelty? Perhaps it is simply based on a matter of perspective, or some axiomatic truth to reality that the others cannot fathom. There is a non-negligible chance that those of different upbringings from our own have these very impulses, but veil them for one reason or another. My ruminations have led me to my own answer. You know me as a man of science and logic, so you may find my conclusion uncharacteristic. But why should a judgment on topics of desire not be driven by the hammer of emotion? I have spent years straining over the subject, and yet the simple verdict revealed itself to me when I made a singular decision to save your life on that evening following the Moot's first meeting. But allow me to get to the point. The difference between us and them is that we are wrong. You would think that if our way of life were true, were superior, that it would have propagated long ago. But if all the world, other than our own small nook of it, chooses to thrive through cooperation and compassion, there's a much greater chance that their ways are correct and ours are faulty, as opposed to the other way around. And if a second world, entirely separate from our own, operates in much of the same manner, this probably only increases in favor of compassion. We are wrong. So why does our culture not evolve to adopt my proposed correct way of thinking? My refutation to this point is quite simple. Those pulling our strings have reached the same conclusions as I, but wish to obscure them from us in order for them to benefit in our stead. For a society so fixated on domination, one would figure that we would have at least attempted to conquer other nations over the ages. In reality, the furthest we have ever come is raiding and stealing folk from forgettable outskirts, taking them on as slaves like we are some band of common brigands. It is apparent that we do not truly strive to dominate others, only our own. Us Jalaran each hold 2 knives, one in front, one behind, and both pointed towards ourselves. Consider these contemplations as my parting words. The terms of our contract have been fulfilled. I thank you for lifting the shackles of our father's moot, and I hope that my assistance has been of acceptable use to you. I have found our partnership most agreeable. I will continue to observe your accomplishments, and perhaps we will meet again when this is over. Perhaps we will not. I will not plead you to change your goals. I only ask that you understand my words. You did, after all, lead me to them. In sincerity, Artaber. That's a sick letter. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that really shakes Roxana reading that.
Artaber, who has probably been he's definitely the half sibling that has been with you from the very beginning of when you came to Thalas Ashana. You had Galethe, yes, but it was Artaber who actively sought you out and saved you from that poison that first night of the moot. And now, apparently, he has left you with his parting words. And as Roxana reads this and begins to contemplate this letter's message and meaning, I think that's where we're going to end the session.
Nice.
Nice. That was really fun.